This conference will now be recorded.
Yesterday, we had done these accounts payable configurations we completed and master data we completed. That means we created vendor as well. And today, we look into this entries. That means that is the ultimate requirement. We have to post these transactions. That is, one is invoice booking, another one is payment to the invoice. I already explained the details of it. So now I'm going to post these transactions. I'm going to show you how you can do this activity in SAP. So to do this booking of invoice, we should do this in FB60. The T code is FB60. So vendor invoice posting, invoice booking. Let us book these three entries for three vendors. Again, for the same, you have the notes which you can refer for booking invoice. That is FB60 vendor invoice posting. You find all the details below. Okay, whatever I'm going to do all these things which I'm going to explain in SAP itself. So let me go to FB60. So FB60 to book the invoices, vendor invoice. First thing what you should do, always check the company code. When you want to book the entries, first check the end company code. There's a HP21 company code is there. You have to switch to your company code. My company code is B-21. So once it is done, so we are doing here printing and stationery debit to vendor credit. You should select the vendor here. From the drop down, you should select the vendor, which vendor you want to post. Enter the company code and click OK. 10126. Arshita Traders, suppliers. Enter the date, as usual, invoice date, that is bill date. And the reference means bill number, we call it. We enter the bill number, 16-digit bill number for GST purpose. I entered like this, B-21 vendor 001. The series I'm going to maintain this. Amount, let me enter 1000 rupees. Now come down here, you should select the printing and stationery. Here it is debit, select the GL account, printing and stationery GL. That is here, printing and stationery. Amount is 1000 again. Just enter. One second. This is not your issue. This is in this system. Somebody changed it. Okay, I'll correct that. One sec. Somebody made a lot of changes. I should show this, but it will create a confusion in, like at this moment. So I'm going to do the same thing again from the beginning. First enter the vendor code and the date and reference, amount, the GL account, that is printing and stationery, and the amount. Reference means bill number. Enter. System accepted this entry. Just like FB50, right? You can simulate this entry and cross-check the transactions. Here you have to notice one important thing, that is document type. By default it will take care. So when we are doing GL to GL, system was taking SA document. That SA document is made for GL. So this KR document is made for vendor invoice. K means creditors in that way. So other things, there are like amount is taken and vendor is Arshita suppliers got getting credited and printing and stationery debited. Save this transaction. System generated the entry. So this is the document number. For So let me do the same transaction for another one. So one entry we posted 1000 rupees. Let me do this for 2000 rupees. So I pick up this time. I'll pick up this 127 1027, the vendor. Go inside. 1027 is Naga Traders. Date, reference number, bill number 2, 2000 rupees value, and pick up the printing and stationery GL account and 2000 rupees. Enter. Just simulate and save it. So now we have posted two entries. Okay, before I post the third entry, I just want to show you how we can look into the vendor ledgers. Vendor ledger means whatever we posted, how we can. So I can go to see the vendor accounts, FBL1N, where we can see the vendor transactions, individual vendor accounts. FBL vendor ledgers we can see. FBL1N. Go to FBL1N. FBL1N. Here, just like a customer, like general ledger, we can see the individual vendors. So enter the company code and go inside, and you can pick up the vendors, which vendor you want to look into that. So we have three vendors, all three vendors will appear. If I suppose if I take this Arshita suppliers, and here I have three options. One is open item, cleared items, and all items. What does it mean? Open items means the invoices are booked but are not yet paid to the vendor. Invoice booked and not paid. That is open invoices which are pending to vendors. Cleared items means invoices are booked and also payment made. Those line items will appear here if you select this. All items means both will appear. Open items and cleared items. If I click on open item and execute this program, system is going to pick up all the open items whichever is pending for this particular vendor. We have booked 1000 rupees if you remember, first entry. KR document, 1000 rupees pending to you. And if you double click on this, you get the detailed what we have done, and click on the sunrise mark, that is call up document overview. You find the details of that entry. Arshita supplies credited, printing and stationery debited, the entry which we posted. Similarly, you can look into this other vendor also, like one more vendor which we have done, 2000 rupees ka. 101027 and execute. 2000 rupees pending. Now, what did I do? Individually, I picked up the vendors. If I don't give any vendor, that means I am asking pick up all open invoices which are pending of my company code. I am not giving any specific vendor here. Just execute this and it will pick up two vendors which are pending right now. So 1000 rupees one and 2000 rupees pending two. So total 3000 pending for vendors. Now, why did I do this? I'm going to open parallelly the creditors GL. Creditors GLs, which I said the logic yesterday, which is connected to individual vendors, it will total up. If you remember, we had discussed that. Creditors GLs is a reconciliation account. It totals up the balances of GL account, which totals up the individual vendor due. So now, when you look into this creditors GL parallelly, what is the take out to see ledger, GL, general ledger view?
FBL 3N.
Okay, good. FBL 3N. So here I pick up this creditors GL. Chart of account is PI-21 and execute. See here, it's so here individually vendor wise, this vendor has 2000 rupees and this vendor has 1000 rupees, like this. So here it will show the total, two lines only shows together. That means I said right. So parallelly it will total up in the GL account, it shows in the balance sheet. Okay, in balance sheet when you look into this creditors GL, it will show 3000 rupees. But when I want to break up, I can see this. Okay, 101101026 is Arshita Suppliers 1000 rupees, Naga Traders 2000 rupees pending. Right. So let me post one more entry for the third vendor, 3000 rupees I'll enter. So I'll pick up the vendor, that is Deepa Biz Solutions, and this is the third entry, 3000 rupees I'll enter, and I pick up the same GL and 3000 amount, and I simulate and save it. The entry got posted. So the third entry. Now you see that we had total 3000 rupees pending. Now we added one more entry. I'm going to open up this in FBL1, and you can notice here FBL1 and T code is there. Transaction. The vendor ledger. How you can go? You can go back and just execute again. See this. So one more entry, 1000, 1026, 1027, 2000, 1028, 3000. Total due is 6000. Now automatically here 3000 is there in the creditors GL. If you go back and execute that, see it's updated with 6000 automatically. It's balances all. That is what we call it as reconciliation here. Hope you are getting my point. All of you. How creditors GL updates here. Deepa, Arshita, Nagalakshmi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we had booked now three entries. That means three invoices we booked. Now we have to make a payment to them. So payment means payment entry, the next entry here. So we have to debit the vendor and credit the bank account. So these items, whichever is booked, we call this as open items in SAP. What is the meaning of open items? Open items means invoices booked but not yet paid, called open items. Okay, remember. So let us move to this payment. So how can we make the payment? That is F-53 is the transaction code. Vendor payments. So go to F-53. So for this also you have clear notes, F-53, vendor payment postings. So how to do that, where to go, and what are the things you should update. Everything is very clearly mentioned. You can follow this. Okay. So which I'm going to explain in this video, that you can refer this notes. Now let me go here. Go to F-53. Here, automatically system proposes your company code because you are working. You have to enter the header. We call this as date, document date, all this data we call header data. You have to enter which date you are making a payment, which currency, all these things. System by default takes this KZ document. See, KR document type is for vendor invoice booking. KZ document type vendor payment entry. System automatically takes this. So what you should do, you should enter the date, which date you are making a payment. I'm making payment for this document date, and you can enter the reference. Reference means the bill number, which bill number you are making payment. B-001, first one. And if you are interested, you can enter the narration as well, vendor payment. And here, which bank? You can pick up the GL account, which bank you are making a payment, so that we know. So that's the bank entries 2300 GL account you take. So So bank 230000, and amount I'm making a payment 1000 rupees. Now it's very much important. You should pick up the which vendor you want to pay, make a payment. See, we already have vendor open items, vendor's invoice booked, and here we should tell. So I'm entering this date and other details, and from this bank GL, I'm making a payment of 1000 to the vendor. Open item selection means to the vendor. Somebody made, I don't know who has done this. They have done a lot of operations with the like this. One second. If you do not know the impact, we should not do that. So where and how it's going to impact others, because somebody made this posting keys changes because they wanted to practice in this system. But what is going to happen? It's a client level setting GSPR. Okay. So don't do that. I'm going to do it in a backend, because if I do in front, you are going to try that same. If it's not error also, you will get all this error in the later stage. So let me show the entry again. So in FTest 53, enter the details, header data, the date and which bill you are making a payment, what is the narration, and enter the GL, like bank GL account and the amount which you want to make a payment. And here you have to pick up the vendor, which vendor you want to make a payment. I want to make a payment for the vendor Arshita Supply, that is the 1000 rupees first vendor. Once it is done, so you have to click on this open process item. That means I'm asking the system, pick up open invoices which are pending for this vendor. So go inside. System will show you what are the open items. That's what are the open invoices for this vendor. So 1000 rupees is the invoice is pending. So now I'm making a payment of 1000, and also bill is 1000 rupees. The difference is 0. So open item. So 1000 rupees I'm making, and this one. So then you should simulate this. Now you see bank account is credited, its minus mark is there, and vendor Arshita suppliers debited, and save it. So entry, it's clear. Let me show one more entry. I'm going to make a payment of second entry, 2000 rupees for Naga Traders. So here again, pick up the vendor, the date, and the bill number is 2 actually, and it's a vendor payment, and the bank account is 2300, and amount which I'm making payment is 2000 rupees. So here I'll pick up. I want to make a payment to this 1027 Naga Traders. So go to process item. Yes, Naga has 2000 rupees and I'm making a payment 2000. Difference is 0. Simulate, cross check the entry and save it. Now I made two payments. Okay. Yes, of course. Now let us check this. So one thing, I'll pick up individual vendors first. That is under FBL1N, the vendor ledger view. Let me check out first Arshita suppliers. One sec, please. Arshita suppliers. Okay. So here if I pick this and if I try to execute right now, see that there is no item, no open items, no item selected. It was showing last time if I execute. But why means there is no open item, there is no open invoices pending. It's played. So if you come here, if you select this clear item and execute that program, see there are two line items. One is debited, that is KZ, the payment entry. KR is the invoice entry, credit entry. So plus and minus it's 0. That means one entry we booked and another entry we made a payment. It is cleared. And status you see here, it is in green. So again, I pick up the same for one vendor, which is like another vendor which we paid. That is Naga Traders. Naga Traders also, if you execute, see here, 2000 rupees is paid and 2000 rupees invoice, KR and KZ. Now, I'll pick up this other vendor, one more vendor which we have not paid. That is Deepa Biz Solutions. If I execute Deepa Biz Solution with this cleared item, see it shows no line because there is no payment done. It's still open. I selected open here and see the status is red here. Status red means invoice is not yet paid. It's still pending. Care document. So if I execute, this 3000 rupees is pending, and here in the creditors GL we paid already 1000 and 2000. What happens in creditors GL? So just go back and execute this program. Now you see only 3000 is showing because other 1000 and 2000 is paid, so that whatever the pending only it will show here in the open items. Hope you are getting how it's going to be connected. How will the ledgers get updated? Everybody.
Yes, sir.
Arshita Nagalakshmi, clear na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let it this open. Okay. We let us do not make a payment. Again, if I make a payment, it will clear here, it will clear here. Let it open because we require for future. So this completes this vendor, that is accounts payable. That means what we have done, we have made an entry. That is, we made a payment entry, sorry, invoice entry and payment entry, and we understood how to see the ledgers. And don't go for deeper dive at this moment. That means if you have seen already videos or if you already practiced somewhere else, or else if you attended or some classes, something what makes okay, there a lot of things have been shown, and here only this much. Why? See, we are in the beginning stage right now. We are not into the expert level, or else not we are going to understand in intermediate level. What I'm trying to tell, I'm trying to make you understand the like way of SAP works, how SAP works. That's what is my intention. So that means I'm just introducing the basics here. how we can see the transactions, whichever we know from the college days, how to make an invoice, how to make a payment entry, how to book the journal entry, and how to be the ledgers. This is enough. So this same concept, which we are going to discuss here, discuss for tomorrow, is account receivables and fixed assets, like this, simple. So once we are familiar with this SAP screens and SAP concept, SAP this terminologies, then we take up that speed. Then these things will become easy. So that don't go for deeper dive at this moment, and don't go for like a lot of R&D on this and whatever you already know. Don't try that. Just, of course, everything is going to be covered, but you should have this basic strong first. So we completed this accounts payable now. We're in the next stage, account receivables. Account receivables, exactly other side of coin. We are going to do the same concept, same configuration, same thing, and we are going to do the same transactions. Okay. Just what you should do before coming to account receivables, you must practice accounts payable. At least post, like don't post only one or two entries. Don't create only one or two vendors. Create 10, 20, 30 vendors and post the transactions, multiple GLs you create, like printing and stationery you created. Then you can create miscellaneous expenses, maintenance expenses, purchases, like this. Many GLs you create and post transactions with this vendor. Keep doing this. You may do the same thing, but it will make you familiar with SAP screens. That is what is required in the beginning. Keep posting. At least you should do when 20 vendors you have to create in each company. Two company codes you are maintaining, right? 20 vendors and at least 30 entries of each, like every for including every vendor. You have to make 30 entries in both the company. 30 entries means 30 entries of invoice booking, 30 entries of payment entry. You have to show me tomorrow, everybody. Got it? Everybody should show the transactions, 30 line items, at least 20 vendors in your company code. Got it? Gayu, Deepa, Arshita?
Sir, can we get the time?
Tomorrow night, same time, 6:30. 6:30 by tomorrow, we are going to connect the same time. Okay?